Maybe we can start with you, Anatoly. So you deal with a lot of very large data sets, very heavy, and we've been seeing that in the last couple of years you're really moving to that blended solution. Can you maybe explain a little bit why you decided to do that, how that's been helping you out, or why it's good, why it's bad?
I don't. Huh? I don't know to talk, but Karen asked me, and they asked me to tell some words on this forum. So my thing is, companies they work with a lot amount of data. We are working with a lot of logs. Every day we're collecting between 2 up to 3 terabytes logs. And when we are increasing to this amount of data, the questions how we can store it was really important. So we need to understand that we have two kinds of data. One kind of operating data. This is logs that the data that we need online for understand what our clients want, and data that we are storing for some years from some for some legal causes or whatever, or if we would to restore something. For real-time data, we are using bare metal servers. We have Hadoop cluster in LeaseWeb data center, and for data that we storing for forever, we are using cloud. We are using Amazon. We are using S3 and Glacier services. So during half of year, we are storing data in S3, and during 7 years, we are storing data in Glacier, and then it will expire. Why we chose Amazon? Because we just started with Amazon. It was 5 or 6 years ago, and we was one of first customers of Amazon in Israel, I think. And why we build the Hadoop cluster, and why we using operating data in bare metal data center? Because it's more cheapest.
Hybrid cloud is a very important, crucial phase right now. Bloggers saying that it will take about 5 to 10 years to move everything to the public cloud, if it will happen. So in 10 years, I'll be old, so I'm not really care about that. But to go hybrid, it means that you need to be able to deploy in 2 places. If you are going multi-cloud, you need to deploy in more than 2 places. You need to be able to, move the things around, which means that it's more complex, right? I'm living in 2 houses. I need to know where I want to be right now. There are lots of things that makes IT avoid of trying another one, besides the credit that Google gives. So hybrid cloud is something that people are doing today, which is actually, we had this data center and now we are using Amazon, so we are hybrid. It's totally not the case. If you want to have an hybrid cloud, you need to have first a private cloud. And who has a private cloud here? Who knows what it means, private cloud? So this is, a bit of what I have to say about it.
Okay. So just following up on what you just said, we're talking about cross-platforms, cross-clouds, cross-platform deployments. What would you say are the main challenges when you do use multiple cloud deployments?
So first, do a hybrid, to plan it, to make sure it works, to make sure that your application can run in these different platforms. And basically, if I just wrote something about who is, actually enabling the multi-cloud, which is definitely not IT. It's developers. It's the developers are taking the Dockers, taking the Core OS, and taking the application, and they want to try it on the bare metal. They want that. They want the software, they want the LeaseWeb, but they don't know how to do that. So now we have this Docker that everybody's talking about, which makes it more easy. So first, to start it. Second, to be able to manage it. So complexity. If I'm taking a bare metal from LeaseWeb and I want to make sure that it is running great, like I have this C4 in Amazon, which is running absolutely amazing. Maybe I'm not working in Amazon. This is what happened. But this is the case. So where it works better and what costs less. So for my things, it costs less to run, the Hadoop cluster on. So it's great. But do you know that it doesn't cost less in software? So the complexity, with regards to where to put it and how much it costs, it's very interesting. Besides that, we can go into hybrid cloud is to solve my security issues. Okay, hybrid cloud create security issues, and there are more challenges. The first challenge is to make sure that you have this private cloud, real private cloud, that you can have this, self-provisioning, self-healing, optimized, in control. And then you have this Amazon or this public cloud, and you need to know how to work with them.
When you're thinking about scalability, let's say you're a small company and you already foresee the future that you'll need more and more resources, is it smart to start with a platform that is already hybrid, or to take a platform, for example, like Anatoly explained, starting with a cloud platform and really growing once you understand your traffic and the behavior of your resources better? Robert, what do you think of that?
So I think you should start with what you need. So if you need bare metal, start out with bare metal, but figure out a provider that can deliver that service to you in such a way that you can scale. I would rather look at things like portability. Can you move out of that provider when something happens? Can you take your infrastructure? Can you move it into a different one? If you like this provider, can he help you to scale? Can he add hybrid capabilities to your bare metal infrastructure? Can he help you grow, rather? And not so much figure out where you want to be in 10 years, because in 10 years the world will be different and you won't be able to design for it now. So rather start with the cost-effective, high-performance, nice solution that you like now.
And Anatoly, you, after having some experience with scaling into such an environment, is there something you think you would do different now, or was that transformation and that growth actually a smart way? Do you feel more stable growing into it in the infrastructure that you have now?
In our case, we are using cloud for front-end servers, and we are using it because we during the day we increase and decrease the amount of server from 400 up to 1,800 servers. All of this working automatically, and it very help us to manage it. As Ophir told, once you are working with the cloud, your T guys started to be developers, and from this we are now the new profession, the DevOps. Once you are working with
DevOps is a concept.
huh?
DevOps is a concept.
Yes, this is concept.
It's a profession.
But it's interesting. So once you started to be DevOps, it's very easy to work with cloud. And when you see your environment not as amount of service, as applications. For example, in my things, at service levels, recommendation service levels, real-time bidding service levels. We are trying to manage application. It's not make sense how service we hold up now, and if part of it going down. Because if part of the service going down, the auto-scaling will start new service immediately. So I think that the management of big environments and clouds in more easy than in traditional environment.